Historical preservation is a growing trend these days. Nonprofit groups are forming nationwide for the purpose of purchasing historically significant properties. One of these has formed in the McDonald, Pennsylvania area, lying within the Fort Cherry School District, committed to refurbishing the old Primrose School, which was built in 1898. Three sisters are active in this project. From right to left are Catherine Reed Kennewick, Dorothy Reed Guntner, and Loretta Reed Kendall. On the far left is Loretta's daughter, Loretta B. Kendall. The very existence of the historic preservation of the Primrose School depended on a great deal of commitment and charity. Loretta and her daughter, Loretta, explain.
How did this all start? What made you interested in getting this project off the ground?
Well, actually, my husband was the first one that decided on this. He called me in one evening and he said, why don't you restore that school? And I says, what school? And so from there I said, oh, that'd be too much work, you know. So I went in the other room and I came back in and I said, well, you know, you could do this and you could do that. And that's where it started. So then that was like Christmas, I think around Christmas of 2006. So March of 2007, we had our first meeting. I called different people that went to the school, and we had about 12 people that came to the first meeting, and they were all for it, you know. And then my husband died, and he was going to do all the work on the building, which was perfect for us. But he passed away on April 7th, a month later. So when I got the insurance money, I knew he wanted me to do this, so I used the insurance money to buy the building.
We started a nonprofit organization called Primrose School and Museum, Inc. It is a 501c3 to do the restoration of the school. We have several members that are part of it, as my mom mentioned a little bit earlier, that there was 12 members at the meeting, so we slowly have a small organization to help with the restoration of it.
Do you accept donations?
We do accept donations. We're looking for any type of donations, plus help, labor, artifacts if you went to the school. If you know someone that went to the school, we're looking for that type of information. The school was in existence from 1898 through 1954. It was a two-room schoolhouse. It had first grade through third grade in one room and fourth grade through sixth grade in the other room. And that's what we're going to restore it back to.
Explain to me how you're going to set up a museum and a classroom in there, room by room.
In the one room that is in the background here will be the classroom. It has the original blackboards and some of the original windows still. We just have to do minor modifications to that. The other room was more modern, more modified when a church took over after the school had closed. But in the classroom, we're going to have it set up just like it was back in the 1900s, with the two coal stoves and the desk and everything set up with old books we're collecting. The other room will be the museum, which will contain information about the area around this area, the Fort Cherry that was built somewhat in this area too. We'll have a replica of that. We'll have mining equipment, the farming equipment back in the 18 and 1900s. We'll have display on books, the history of the families around here. We're looking for that information also. We also plan on having educational trips where we'll have a school marm meet the kids so they can have a day in the life of what it was like back then to go to school. The museum part will have interactive displays where you can press buttons and computerize, where it'll talk to you and tell you the different things of what we're eventually hoping to get to. The actual classroom will have the sit down with the books and the old-fashioned desk with the ink wells and that type of thing.
So if anyone's watching this from anywhere around the world, actually, could he or she or they contribute to either an item or perhaps money?
Sure. We'll take anything that anybody wants to help us with. We'd like to see if we could get this project off the ground. We put a new roof on this summer, so we're starting the right direction, but we do need some help.
Could you give an email or a mailing address or
Sure.
telephone numbers?
The email is lbktrk@verizon.net, and the address is Primrose School and Museum, Inc., 364 East Lincoln Avenue, McDonald, PA, 15057. And a phone number is 724-796-7011.
Have you contacted anyone who has done a restoration like this? In other words, do you have to start from zero, or are there others whom you've met who could help you out?
Yes, we have joined the One Room School Association. We attended a conference this past June up at St. Vincent's College and met a lot of people that have restored schools in the process of restoring one-room schools all throughout the country. They were at the conference. We made contacts with all of them. We have a sister one-room school that we made contact with from Erie. It's the Hornaby School, and they actually donated some materials to us: desk, blackboards, teachers' desks, books that they had extras of, and we've been sharing information back and forth from them.
Let us listen to some very interesting recollections given by the three sisters about what they remember about their days as students at the Primrose School.
Okay, can you tell me anything, all of you ladies, anything that was fun, funny, or frightening that happened at the school?
Well, first of all, I can remember when I was in second grade, I was supposed to for reading class. We had Miss Cook, and she told us to go home and study this one lesson for reading, but do not go to the next chapter. Which I went home and I looked at the next chapter, and there was this one word that I did not remember and didn't know, and I asked my mother what the word was, and she said rooster. So I was all happy I knew that word. And I went to school the next day, and when she said, "What's this word?" I right away put my hand up and said rooster. She said, "You looked." She got mad. She didn't allow us to look. I can't remember what she did. I don't think she did too much, but in those days, I guess they like to holler. That's about the most important thing I remember.
Okay. How about you, ma'am?
Okay, I went to this school from grade 1 to grade 5, and apparently different years they had different classes, because when I was in that little part towards the side road here, there was only grade 1 and grade 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 was in this part right back here. I think there were 5 people total in my first grade class. We had a sandbox to play with inside the school, but you stood up and played. You stood around this little box and it had sand in it, and you played. It was kind of weird because nobody else remembers this, but I mean, I definitely do remember that.
Okay, I started here in '45, and there were 6 grades when I started. The first grade room had 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and the other room had 4th, 5th, and 6th. I think the most thing that was traumatic for me, my sisters had gone to school and I was home alone for 4 years. So when I went to 1st grade, I was so thrilled. I couldn't wait to go to school. And the second day of school, I forgot my reading book. Anyway, Mrs. Cook was my teacher, and she took me up front, and I think there was 3 other boys that had forgot their book, and she paddled us. So that was terrible. There was only one swat with the paddle, but it was really traumatic for me. So anyway, I really think it made me a good student because I never forgot anything after that. The other thing I remember, we used to put plays on in the evening, and the families would all come, and we'd have to walk. We lived on the other side of Primrose, and people didn't have cars, so the majority of the people walked. And it was really nice, because, the school was lit up. You wonder why the teacher would come back in the evening. That's all I remember right now.
As the restoration proceeds, we will revisit the Primrose School to show you the progress. For now, though, we will go. I am Fort Shankle. Thanks for watching.